Michael, match of the week. What I wanted to talk to who did I reach out to? Seattle City. I reached out to, I think, LA City fan groups. Didn't hear anything back. Crickets. Spurs and Canton Akron. Can't believe they didn't want to reach back out to me. It's fine. I will still reach back out to you next time Spurs are there. But the game of the week is Manchester City. They're hosting Tottenham. We said a week ago this has to be game of the week, and we didn't realize Tottenham was going to be on a 3-game losing streak. We also didn't realize that City would be 2 games back-to-back draws where they haven't won. This one's at the Etihad. I picked City. I think you picked Tottenham, just to give a little spoiler alert. No, you picked City too?
Pick City.
Okay. To give a little spoiler alert to later in the pod when we do our predictions, how do you see this happening? How do you see this progressing? What should we be looking out for?
I would say a fully fit Spurs team, this would be an unbelievable game. The fact that I know...
You good?
Okay. The fact that I know that Ange will not bunker down, and I don't think they really even could because of the defensive issues that they have, and injuries. They're going to go for it, and they are going to get cut apart, in my opinion. It's not at Spurs. It is just going to be an absolute... I'm going off here 4-1. I think they might get a goal, but I think that defensively, there's just no chance they can stop you guys.
It'll look very similar to if you ended up watching any of the Leipzig City game. It was basketball. It was back and forth. It was fast break. Well, Leipzig's not bad. They're not a bad team, and they are kind of similar to what you're saying. They went up 2-0 and did not pack it in. They were like, I want to get 3. And I think the more that they progressed and the more they went forward, like we knew City, if you're watching that as a City fan, you knew they were going to score. You're hoping they scored 2 to at least get a draw. You're praying they scored 3 to get the dub, and they ended up scoring 3 because they're a very good offensive team. It was basketball. It was fast break soccer. It was amazing. I think to your point, this is going to be very, very similar. No Richarlison, no Van de Ven, no Manor Solomon, no James Maddison. I didn't even realize that Perisic was still on this team. De Bruyne's still out. Kovacic's still out. Matheus Nunes still out for City. Definitely more Tottenham players that are key to this team out. I like that you had them get a goal because I can't remember the last time I've watched these two teams line up and I don't see Heung-min Son going like this to some City fans. So I know that'll happen. But I agree. If you have a chance to take the over in this one, you do it.
Well, the other thing too is like I think he's really good. I don't rate him, as highly as maybe some other people do. But like Romero's not out or not there either. He's still suspended. And then Bentancur got hurt last game and had to get subbed off. And I'm not sure if he's gonna be ready to go. So I mean, you're looking at Lo Celso, Skip, Højbjerg in the middle. Gill on the outside, Son up top, and then Brendan Johnson, and then again 4 wingbacks across your back line.
Yeah,
I don't think it's even going to be basketball necessarily. I think they're not going to be able to move the ball past you.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of hilarious. The last pod we talked about the back line that Villa went against, and just wasn't top tier. Like, let's just be honest, it wasn't. It's not who you want, and you feel bad for Ange. You feel bad for Tottenham. They're gonna have to deal with Haaland. Doku is gonna get fresh legs because I told you this in confidence, and I said don't bring this up to anyone on the podcast. But I'm a man of integrity. I'm gonna bring it up on the podcast. Everyone here knows my love for Jack Grealish. The worst thing that happened to Jack Grealish is that he plays the same position as Jeremy Doku, because Jeremy Doku, outside of Haaland last year, this is the best first year a player has had under Pep at City ever. Because normally you don't play that much.
Did you see the stat from the City-Liverpool game? Sorry.
Which stat? No.
12 out of 15 successful dribbles.
But see,
he attempted 15 dribbles,
which is kind of nutty. It's absolutely nutty. We talked about this. I've seen a lot of people talk about how he cooked Trent. Like, I just don't really remember that many times that he cooked Trent. I think he was just cooking anyone who was out there, and it led to opportunities, but nothing that like materialized. But it is nice. Yeah, it's nice knowing that 4 or 5 times a game we're gonna get a ball on the ground sent from the end line to the middle, because that's how we normally score anyway. And he's gonna at least be able to do it, let's say 3 times a game. Just happens.
The positive thing is that for the most part in that game, you could Trent falling asleep or Trent being lazy or not being a very good defender just in general, whatever you want to say. The guys trailing the runners in the box to receive the pass from Doku were on it, and so many times the ball gets whipped across and it gets cleared away immediately. But, if you're asleep, those are all goals for the most part, or at least shots on goal. I think that's more like he had a .74 X assist or whatever because he's just, whipping balls across every time he goes down the field. And you guys, I've never seen a coach, not never maybe, but I've never seen a coach consistently just play to one, like, very obvious strategy as Pep does, because Phil Foden was, like, on that other side, was basically not used.
Yeah. Well, they even brought Foden to the center. They even brought Foden to the center a little bit and kicked Bernardo out. And I think the point of kicking Bernardo out to the right was get the ball to Bernardo so he'll hold up as much as possible to then swing the defense further that way to give Doku more space. Like, it was honestly a play to go right to then immediately go back left.
In midfield, you guys were on the right side a lot, just so you could whip it over to the left. You didn't go straight down the field. You literally went like this, almost. Yeah,
it's like runway. The other thing that's going to be scary is just like how well the guys trailing defended. Man, we're 3-4 months into the season. You got another 5 left. 3 months from now, the people running onto his paws, are going to have a lot better idea of where he likes to play them and where he likes to go. And I think it's incredible that he's had this big of an impact so far because, again, it's notorious. Pep has first season syndrome where you come in and you don't really play that much and people think it's a bust and then you end up, getting a much better season 2, season 3. He's kind of hit the ground running here. We both said City. You said 4-1. Anything else you're going to be looking out for before I ask the obvious question?
I mean, again, I would say, like, if Spurs can get that first goal, then maybe look out. But they're not gonna get a goal and sit back. So
yeah,
no.
All right,
you guys are gonna have so many chances.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch. It's definitely a season pass game. Obvious question. We're both gonna have the same answer. 4 losses in a row if it happens to Tottenham, correct?
Yes.
Please don't fire Big Ange. Don't even talk about it.
Oh my God.
Don't even talk about it. Well, I don't think anyone is, but we're just putting it out there. Keep this man in the Premier League, please.
Yeah, that would be the most insane thing ever.
Well, we've seen how quickly people get fired at Chelsea,
Well, again, it's, man, it's frustrating because when you play shitty football and you don't get results, it's like, well, why can't we at least play, exciting football and not get results, right? So then you're playing exciting football and you're getting results and it's great and you're like, this is the best guy ever. And then you get injuries to 2 of your most important players, definitely your most important player, and then Van de Ven has been unbelievable. And you're like, well, we should be a little bit more pragmatic. And it's like, you can't have it both ways. You can't complain when you were itching for the thing you're seeing right now, and you've actually seen how good it can be, and there's an obvious reason that it's not, and these guys are hurt, and you're in a little bit of a crisis here. But if you fired him, you're smooth brained as fuck. I'm sorry. Like it just, I don't know how else to say it. Like you have no idea.
Don't put it past Tottenham to make us. Don't put it past Spurs to make a Spursy decision. But please, we never thought we'd like Spurs. I like Big Ange.